Well, all right, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. Most of you have met me, and thanks for being with me tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. And really, what I want to talk about tonight, we hear so much about, opportunity, and we hear people talking about, oh, our compensation plan does this and our compensation plan does that. And, there's thousands of network marketing opportunities out there. How do you really know? Well, you got to find a company that aligns with you. You got to find a company that has the products that you can wrap your arms around. You can say, "Hey, this is my company," and really, that's where you want to get started. Excuse me, I've got a couple of dogs here in the house, so they might bother me from time to time. But really, look for something that excites you. If you would like to, do this, follow that path. If you like to do that, follow that path. For me, I chose Sisel. I liked Sisel. In fact, I love Sisel. It's gotten to be a real part of my life. And I share with people all the time that, I get to do things that a lot of people only dream about because of the opportunity that I have over here. And, so I'm going to share a screen with you right now that that I think is important. So the Sizzle opportunity, right? Can everybody see that as I scroll up? Is your screen showing that? If somebody could just put a message on there, let me look. See? Yes. Okay. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate that. So the first thing that I really wanted to talk about was what are the different profit centers? I'm not going to go into them really in detail. We've got a lot of great, in fact, you can listen to that here. There's recordings right here. But the first one is the retail profits. Look, you've got products. Somebody's going to say, hey, I don't want to sign up. I don't want to get started in any of those deals, but I'd like to try a couple products. So you help them get started with a couple of products, and you make some money. That's how that works. And the other side is you can build a business. And I always tell people that I start here, and I'll talk about that a little bit. And then you earn commissions, and there's a fast start bonus that's paid right away. There's luxury car bonuses. We have recognition programs, and we haven't had any world events, but we will. Again, COVID kind of shut that down. But profit center number one, over on the left-hand side of your screen, is the fast start bonus. Basically, all companies have this. You go out and you do some work, you're introduced this to somebody, and as a result, they get started. They give you a bonus for that because, really bottom line, you're going to spend some money getting people started. Maybe you give them a couple samples, maybe you take them out for coffee, whatever, right? And hang on, somebody's messaged me here. I want to just see, Yeah, hey, Renee. So that's profit center number one. Now, profit center number two is commissions. So your customer came back, he said, hey, I really like that weight loss program. I lost 8 pounds. I want to stay with you. I want to try it again. So you make 7% if they're a distributor. You continue to make the 25% if they stay in as a customer. I'm just going to go through these rather quickly because I don't want to do a webinar on the comp plan. I want to do a webinar on how to make money. And, and it kind of goes hand in hand, but it's a little bit different. You got to think about it up here. And then there's the infinity bonus. Bottom line is you get paid the 7% commissions on your distributors down to the 7th level. And then people, they say, well, what about after that? What about those people? I brought in Bob brought in George, Sam, Mickey, Helen, all the way down 7 levels. And then what about on the 8th level? Well, in a lot of companies, they just say, well, hey, that's just too bad. In our company, we say, look, once you've made it to where you're in the leadership levels. Now you can earn commissions up to 6% in your in all the way to infinity, right? And then profit center number 4 is a master check match. And you know, the way that I look at the master check match is really this: the master check match, it tells you, are you helping your people make a check? So if I'm helping, you know, somebody that I enrolled and they're making a check, I get a bonus based on that. If I'm helping them help someone else and now they're making a check, I get a bonus based on that. And so that's the master check match. Rank advancements as you go from, you know, a master to a master distributor to a 1-star, 2-star, all the way up to, you know, whatever levels, right? You get paid bonuses. And then once you reach a certain level, a 1-star, you actually get a car bonus, a luxury bonus. It used to be a car bonus because a lot of companies used to say, hey, you know, we want you to drive the pink Cadillac. We want you to drive the black BMW or whatever, right? And Sisel just basically took the position that, hey, we're not going to tell you what to buy. You can use it to pay your mortgage payment if you want. It's just an extra bonus that we have in there. And then retail, you know, you bring in a customer, you get paid 25% for life on your customers, and then your downline, if they bring in a customer, you get paid 3%, 7 levels deep. And then, of course, there's the Wealth Builder system. And this one is something that was added a couple of years ago. The Wealth Builder system is really, it's a coded bonus system. And what that means is that when you get somebody started, they come in at a certain rank, you get paid extra bonuses. So on top of the regular unilevel plan, you get paid some extra bonuses. And I know a gentleman up here in Fargo, North Dakota that got started with another company years ago, before I ever got into network marketing, before I ever even realized what network marketing was. His company didn't have much of a commission plan, but they had a coded bonus system, and he made millions. I mean, literally millions just with that. And so our Wealth Builder system is based on that. It's you can get paid 3 different ways to infinity. So go in your back office, watch these videos. If you're new to the business and you saw my post and you're saying, hey, Kurt, you know, what about me? I don't have a back office. Well, go to my website. It's you know, there's my name up there. You can copy that and paste it, and you can go to my website, to my back office, and you can just hit the opportunity button, and all of these videos will show up. If you were referred by someone else, go to their website. You know, this is their business, and we're doing this to help people build a business, build a check, and so that's really what I want to talk about. And I can go through the 8 different profit centers over and over and over again till I'm blue in the face, and but it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you build a check. And so I wanted to talk to you today, and I took notes, so excuse me, I'm going to refer back to my notes over here, that, you know, how do I make money, right? I mean, I understand the compensation plan. I've looked at the compensation plan, but how do I make money? And, you know, the answer to it is it's pretty easy. Start talking to people about Sisel. Start talking to them about the great products that we have. Start talking to them about, you know, the opportunities. Start talking to about the compensation plan. And for me, I like to open with the opportunity. I like to talk about the opportunity, you know, because in today's world, with the economy that we have today, people are hurting. They're looking for a way to make extra money. They're looking for a way that they can enjoy some freedom. And, you know, and whatever your definition of freedom is, mine is being able to know that I'm in control. I get to make the decisions. I get to decide, what am I going to do tomorrow? Where am I going to go tomorrow? You know, who am I going to work with? Things like that. And if you've got a job, you know, there's someone else that makes those decisions for you. And we can say that we have freedom, but really, if you're running around the world and they make you carry a card that says, you know, you were, I mean, and not getting into the whole political thing, but saying that you were vaccinated and you can't go here and you can't go there without that card, are you really free? But if you don't have any money, aren't you locked down just as tightly? And so it costs money to start a business. It costs money to run a business. And people, they say to me, they say, well, Kurt, how much does it cost to get started? And that's a good question. That's a good question. Before I answer that, let me tell you a little bit about what we have and what's going on. And you know, are you worried about anything in the world? And I try and get people to think about things. You know, are you worried about this virus? Are you worried about the pandemic? Are you worried about your finances? And so before I get into a lot of the details about Sisel, what I might try and talk about is we have some solutions for you. Some solutions about, you know, things. I made a video the other day that I talked about. Here's some different products that you can take that supports a healthy immune system. And so if somebody I know is worried about the pandemic, I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to get them to watch the video. If they're worried about finances, this will be in a video. It'll be on my YouTube channel. It'll be available for you to share with people. But I'm going to get them to think about this, and I'm going to try and get them to get some curiosity. And, you know, I want them to see something, and then I'm going to say, you know, are you interested? And, you know, they might say, well, I'm interested in that product, but I'm really not interested in the business. Great. You know, so the question you ask is, you know, to get started, how much is it? And I'll go over, excuse me, I'm kind of moving my notes around over here at the same time. If you had an opportunity to get started in a business like this, what do you think it would cost? And just give me your best guess. And a lot of people will come back. They'll say, well, you know, it sounds like a pretty well-structured business. You know, probably $1,000, right? And they'll give me an answer like that, or they might say a couple thousand, or they might say 500 or whatever, right? And I'll answer them back then at that point, because I've got their attention. I know kind of where they're at, if they're realistic. I mean, if they say, oh, it'll cost $25 or $100, I'm going to say, well, you're kind of, you know, not really being realistic with it. It does cost money to get started. So what does it cost? Really about $500. That, I mean, if you want to get started right, it costs about $500. And then they ask, well, what does it cost to maintain your business? Well, about $500 if you're going to do it right. And there's other ways. I mean, if that's just out of your wheelhouse, if that's out of your budget, you know, we can talk about other options that are there, that exist. But that's the best way. And, you know, if you're starting a business, don't you want to open up all the opportunities? And so with this, you get, for the $500, you're buying a wealth builder pack. And, you know, and give or take, you know, I mean, but right around that cost. And you get product. You're not just spending money on blue sky. You're getting, you know, a good discount on the product as well. And trust me, you'll use the products. Between myself, my kids, my parents, even my two dogs, they use the product. We use the product because they are that good. And I might share with them, or maybe they've already watched one of the videos that I shared on the product. And I really just, I mean, honestly, and I mean this, for those of you that are just hearing about Sisel for the first time, those of you that are just listening for the first time, whatever you've heard about our products, chances are it's actually even better than that. The products are probably better than what you can even imagine. Whatever you've heard, they're probably even better than that. And I'm being honest with you. I hand out a lot of samples of products to people, and they come back and they, for the most part, they see a difference when they're using them. So the next question I have for you is, if everything that I've shared with you thus far, about the opportunity, and I've shared some things with them, and I've shared some things about the product. If everything is true about it, how many people do you know, if everything is true, and it is, but if everything is true, how many people do you know might have an interest? 3, 4, 5, 10, how many people do you know that might show an interest? And be honest, maybe even be a little skeptical. But how many people do you know that that might have an interest? We're looking for 3, right? We're looking for 3, and the reason I say that is because if I can help you build a team of 3, you can really start making some money. So we're gonna talk about, really, for the rest of this. We're really gonna talk about, what if you only found 3, and after you found your initial 3, and after you help your team find their initial 3, you are going to go looking for some more people, and it's going to be easier to find more people once you start making some money. And I'm going to show you this. So if you get started, like I said, with the Wealth Builder, which is going to cost you roughly about $500 with shipping and taxes and everything like that, right? I mean, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Well, actually, it won't cost you more than that. It'll be less than that. But so, just for sake of argument, let's just say that, okay? And we went out, and I helped you find 3 people that say, hey, yeah, I'll give that a try, right? And they're willing to risk less than $500. If you do it in the plan, and you do it the way with you build with speed, and that's what the Wealth Builder is really designed for, is to help people build with speed, so you can get paid quickly. And so if you do that, you're going to get back $450. And so really, if it costs you less than $500 to get started, or no, I believe it's not $450, because it's not $150 each. It's $100. So you're gonna get $300. So you're gonna almost break even. I made a mistake on there when I was putting my information together this morning. I was thinking it was $150. I'll have to go back and review that Wealth Builder plan video again. But so we find 3, and then we help those 3 each find 3. You're going to get back roughly about $300, and where you're going to get $300, and that's going to pay back most of your initial investment. And so now you're going to help those 3 each go out and find 3 people. So month 2, let's just say this is month by month. If you can do it quicker, I would really recommend that you do. Again, it's the speed of the team that builds the team. So you're going to help your 3 each go out and find 3. Well, the thing about it is that on those initial 3 that you bring in with the Wealth Builder, because they're paying that $100 bonus out on those, you actually don't make any commission. So on month 2, if we're just looking strictly at, you brought in 3 Wealth Builders, and they brought in 3 Wealth Builders each, you've got a team of 9 people, and you're gonna get some matching bonuses. You're gonna get some check match, you're going to get some rank advancement bonuses and things like that, but you're not going to make any commissions. Okay. And so month 2, you're gonna pretty much, break even, or not break even, but it's going to cost you. Okay. And then, so now the next month, so you've helped these people build, they're going to come back in, and again, they're spending that, $300 to $500 month after month, just like you are. So then you're going to make 7%. So again, let's look at the next month. 7% of the 300 PV. It's not a big amount, right? It's $21, and you've got 3 people. So you've made, $63. You're spending $300 to $500, and there's reason why you want to do that. Go back and watch the video on the loyalty rewards program. I mean, you could spend less, but I'm going to tell you not to, because you want to build with this overhead idea. Businesses have overhead. I've run my own business since I was 22 years old, and you've got overhead. And if you start cutting back on overhead and you don't have enough product in the store, whatever, it's just not going to work. So month 2, you're going to take again, you're going to have a little bit of a loss there. I guess that would be month 3. But then you're going to help those 3 people each find 3. So then the next month, you're going to make that $21 again. Okay. Woo-hoo, right. But their 3, so the 3 that you found, and they each found 3, they're going to do the exact same thing. So there's 9 people, and you make 7% on their purchase. Again, let's say they do 300 PV. You're teaching your people to do the 300 PV. So that's 9 people who buy the 300 PV. You get 7%. That's $189. Plus you have the $21 that you got from the 3 that you brought in. So you're gonna make just a little bit over $200. But now you're getting some other bonuses. You're going to get the luxury car bonus. You're going to get some more rank advancement bonuses. You're going to get some matching check bonuses. But we're not even going to look at those. Let's just say that those don't even exist. We're just looking strictly at commission. So you're making about $200. You have an overhead of $500. So you're still kind of in the whole $300. Okay. But here's what happens the next month. You help those 9. So the 3 that you found, they each found 3. So there's 9, and you help them each go out and find 3, and they all get started. So here's where the magic starts to happen on this next month. In month 4, you get your $21. Your 3, there's 300 PV. You're getting 7%. That's 21. They each have 3, so there's 9. You get 7%. That's $189. So it's $200. And now the 27, the 9 find 3. And again, you're not finding any more people. Let's just say in this scenario, you're not finding any more people. You get 7% of that. That's $567. So total now in month 4, you're making just under $800. That's just commissions. That's just the 7% unilevel commission. You're not taking into consideration the car bonus, the leadership bonus, the match check bonus, any of those things. You're just looking strictly at commission, and you're making $700. So you had 2 or 3 months where you were in the hole. You had your first month where you broke, pretty much broke even, and now in the 4th month, you're making some profit. Not enough to cover the 3 months. And I'm being realistic with you. I mean, right? I mean, I'm trying to put this in so that when you're building your business, you're thinking in terms of what's it going to cost me to get this business going. All right. So month 5 in my scenario, now you take those 27 people. So your 3 who found 3, and now you're going to help those 27 go out and find 3. What does that equal? Well, if you get paid that 7% again on those levels, that's over $1,700. Plus you get the $567 for the level below that, the $189, the level below that, and the 21. Right? This is just commission. So So you're making some pretty good money. You're making some pretty good money, and that's a profit if you consider that you have $500 overhead, right? Month one, you pretty much broke even. Month two, it cost you over, it cost you over $400. Month two, it cost you almost $300. Month four, it cost you, just under 300. And then month four, you made 300. Month five, you made 1,200. So net on your 6th month, your 5th or 6th month, you've profited $750 over and above spending $500 a month. You tell me, what business could do that? The next month, you're going to get the 7% for the 3 people that you brought in. That's $21. You're going to get, their 3. You're going to make 7% on what they brought in. That's $189. You're going to help them get theirs, so that's $567 on the next level. The next level after that is just over $1,700. The next level after that, so you're helping these people again, right? So there's 81 people. They're each spending the same amount, 300 PV. You're making 7%. That's over $5,000. So with all the levels added up on that 6th month in my scenario, you're making $7,500 a month. Now, you found 3, and you taught them to find 3, and they found 3, and they found 3. Everybody's found 3. That's all my notes on this, by the way. And I wrote that up this morning while I was drinking my coffee. And I'm just thinking, holy cow. This comp plan, this is just the 7%. I'm telling you that if you're doing this right, if you're sharing this and you're going out there, I'm going to have somebody that's going to say to me in the 2nd month, they're going to say, well, why don't you come back and tell me when you're making money? And so I'll come back to them somewhere in there when I'm going to make over that $1,000, and I'm going to share with them and say, hey, I made my first 1,000. Let me buy you some coffee. Let me show you what I'm doing. Or I may not have time. I mean, you're working. Plus, your chances are you still have your regular job, and so, what if you waited until the 6th month when you made that, when you made that 4-figure income, when you're making that extra $7,500 a month? Boy, I tell you what, there's some opportunity there, and so you're not just going to find 3. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you're not just going to find 3. You're going to find a 4th person that's going to say, hey, Kurt, I'm interested in what you got going on. You're going to find a 5th person that's going to say, hey, that sounds interesting. Plus you're going to find the people who just want to take the product, right? They're going to say, I heard you got something for weight loss. I mean, folks, I've lost 52 pounds. I have people coming up to me all the time and asking, hey, what are you doing? How are you losing that weight? Somebody emailed me yesterday, and she said, I saw your photo, and it looks like you've lost a lot of good weight. Can you get me some of that product? She said, bring it over by my house. I'll buy it. So I have people who are just watching what I'm doing all the time, and they're gonna buy product from me. You are too, and you're gonna make 25% on those people. I didn't even include that. You're going to have people who are not going to be serious business builders. Excuse me, my dog is being a pain over here. And but you're going to have people who they're not going to be serious about it. Maybe they only want to spend, maybe they want to buy 2 age pills per month. They don't want to buy, the full wealth builder pack. Maybe they, don't want to do the wealth builder. They don't want, but whatever it happens to be, you make commissions on those as well. I'm just talking strictly the commission on 3 people that you bring in that take a serious look at building the business, and they get started, and they build something. They find 3. Who couldn't find 3? If everything that I'm saying is true, right? I mean, if you show this video to somebody and they say, well, you know, in a perfect scenario, yeah, this is a perfect scenario. But you know how perfect scenarios happen is that you find the person who says, I can do that. That's where the perfect scenario happens. So how many people do you have to find? How many people do you have to talk to find 3 who are going to go out and do that? Well, maybe a few, you know, maybe a few. What if you have to talk to 10 people, right? And you find 3. Hey, that's pretty good. That's really good. What if you have to talk to 20? What if you have to talk to 50? What if you have to talk to 100? I mean, I'm just telling you that. What if it's 100? Let's just say that it is 100. You have to talk to 100 people to find 3. Okay? In the next 30 days, between now and the end of the first week in September, you decide that you're going to do this seriously, and you're going to go out and you're going to find your 3, no matter what it takes. And that's the attitude you're going to have, no matter what it takes. And you lock yourself in your office, in your home, and you say, I'm going to go out and find 3 people that are going to take this thing seriously, right? And let's just say it takes talking to 100 people, okay? So in the next 30 days, there's, you know, a month, and you take 100 divided by 30, that's roughly 3.3 people per day, right? 30 times 3 is 90. And so 3.3 people per day. So let's just say 4 people per day. Let's just round it up. Let's say you're actually going to do 120 people. Okay? So how long does it take? Well, I mean, my answer to you is really, if you learn how to just ask the right questions and direct the conversation, you can do the conversation in 5 to 10 minutes. So I want to talk to 4 people per day, and it's going to take me 10 minutes, and I'm looking for 3 people. So I'm only going to spend a lot of time with 3 people in the course of the next 30 days. The other 117 people, it's like, yeah, you know, don't have an interest. Well, you know, why don't I come back to talk to you when I make my first $1,000? Or why don't I come back to you when I'm making my first $7,000? Whatever it happens to be. And you put them in the bleachers. You put them away. You file them away in the, I'll come back to you. I'll circle back to that category. And don't try and convince somebody to do it, because if you have to convince them, and I just had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, if you have to convince them to do something now, you're going to be convincing them in the future. You're going to be convincing them all the time. So why not just put them over here, and I'll get back to them. We'll circle back. But right now, let's go talk to 117 people who say no. And we'll talk to 3 people who say yes. I know you know 100 people. Every single one of you knows 100 people. And I would put money, even if you're the most serious person, that you haven't talked to 100 people. Not yet. All right. Thanks, everyone. I hope that helps. That'll put some money in your wallet, you know, and then the products are free. I mean, holy cow. I mean, I look at it and I go, I can buy all these products. I take 2 TSX a day. It's $125 when you buy the pack of 12. So it's $125 for a bottle of it. I go through 2 bottles a month just for myself. I go through, 2 bottles of age pill, me and my dogs, and so I get paid to take those products. You can too. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone, and enjoy.